Harun, welcome. I'm Udar Pratap Singh. You're joining us on News X. Voting in Kerala has taken place in all 20 seats. Kerala has recorded 63% voter turnout till 5 p.m. Yes, that's the latest figure. Updated till 5 p.m. It's, of course, expected to rise further. In the state, a high-stakes battle is being fought in Thiruvananthapuram. BJP's Rajiv Chandrasekhar is pitted against three-time Congress MP Shashi Tharoor from the Thiruvananthapuram seat. The constituency has recorded 60.40% voter turnout till 5 p.m. In fact, let's go live across to Megha Sharma, who is joining us live from Kerala. Megha, voting has now come to an end in Kerala. In fact, all seats of Kerala have gone to the hustings today. How is voting day panned out, Megha, in all of Kerala and particularly in Thiruvananthapuram, where you're standing right now?
Right. Let me tell my audiences over here that I'm standing at the Manaviyam Veedi. Manaviyam Veedi or Manaviyam Road is what this entire stretch of the road is called. Why is it called Manaviyam Veedi? This is a culture hub of sorts, a culture street, so to say. There are a number of youth that come out in large numbers, particularly in the evening after the sun sets. And if you could take a look at these beautiful walls that have been painted by these street artists. There are some, this entire wall that stretches this entire street is actually dedicated to these 20 women contemporary artists who have painted these eclectic pictures and paintings on the wall. And wherever you see a lot of youth over here. There may be first-time voters, there are a lot of influencers here, content creators. There are in fact some wedding shoots, pre-wedding shoots that are also happening. So this street is quite the hub, quite the go-to point for youth when it comes to doing all these kind of things, talking about making these Instagram reels and going on Twitter and going on Snapchat and so on and so forth. In fact, on the show right now with me are a bunch of youth over here. They belong to Thiruvananthapuram, and let's quickly get in a word from them. Starting from you, tell me why is this street so important? Why are youth attracted to this particular place?
Because this place was more beautiful.
Okay, and when did this street get inaugurated?
Exactly 1 year or so. This place shows us the cultures from different places. Foreign peoples come here also, so they can experience. They cannot go everywhere in Trivandrum particularly. So these photos show the particular places and its cultures here. They come here to enjoy themselves. They lose themselves here. It's a night vibe place.
Yeah. I heard there are a lot of concerts, a lot of song and dance events happen almost on a daily basis.
Yes, yeah. This place was more important 6 months ago. यहाँ पे तो बहुत सारा लोग आ गया था और कंसर्ट के लिए यहाँ पे क्राउडेड था. यहाँ पे किसी को भी गाड़ी नहीं चल सकता था, इसलिए ये सब 7 PM के आफ्टर क्लोज करता था कि इसके लिए यहाँ को पीपल को आ सकता है और वो एंजॉय कर सकता है यहाँ पे. ये तो सब दिन पे हमको आकर हमको पता सकता है कि यहाँ के वाइब कैसा है. किसी भी दिन में एक बैड वाइब नहीं होता है. सब दिन हम यहाँ पे आके हम क्या है वो फील सकता है हमको.
Also, I see, you are a content creator, you're an influencer, you are clicking all these pictures, making videos. How often do you come here? Why is this the apt place to make videos and put content on Instagram and other social media platforms?
Actually, I am in Idukki. I am working there. My friends here, they come here often. I come here on leave only. यहाँ हमारे फ्रेंड्स तो यहाँ पे सब टाइम आता है कि उसको मैंने बोला था ना उसको यहाँ पे आके कंटेंट के लिए कोई कम नहीं है. सब हमको इंटरेक्ट कर सकता है दूसरे स्ट्रेंजर्स से, वो तो कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है. सब लोग से हमको क्या मतलब बहुत गुड वाइब से इंटरेक्ट कर सकता है. इसलिए
यहाँ पे do you meet a lot of people and interact with them and make friends with them in the process of you making your reels and hanging out and drinking a cup of tea?
Yeah, of course.
There is a shop right there. वहाँ पे चाय मिलता है. हम सब लोग वहाँ आके पहले ही चाय पी के यहाँ पे स्टार्ट करता है. स्ट्रीट वहाँ से स्टार्ट करता है, वहाँ से नहीं. श्री सब लोग यहाँ आके वहाँ से टी लेके वहाँ से इस तरफ जाता है कि हम सबको इंटरेक्ट कर सकता है सब यहाँ पे। तो एक इन्फ्लुएंसर आ गया था, पहले बार मैं आया था, एक स्ट्रीट फोटोग्राफर, वो सब वही सबको एक लगता है, एक सा लगाता है कि वो सबके फ़ोटो खींचता है उसके परमिशन लेके ही, तो वही सबको एक ही करता है।
Today was voting in Kerala, in Thiruvananthapuram. Did you vote? Did you vote?
No, no.
Did you vote?
No. Yes, I voted that.
You voted. What are the key issues you think for the youth in Thiruvananthapuram for which they are voting?
Actually, most of the youth doesn't know which party to vote. I am not criticizing them. I'm actually telling them the youth doesn't know who should win in Trivandrum. Exactly, this is a parliament election, so we should put forth the people that should help us. In addition to what will get us, you know. यहाँ के यूथ तो एक पार्टी पे जाके वहाँ पे उसका कॉन्सेप्ट नहीं पता है, सिर्फ उसका स्ट्रेंथ के लिए वहाँ पे जाता है। ऐसा होना नहीं चाहिए कि हम सबका व्यू देखना है, ऐसा ही हमको कुछ तो हमें मिलेगा ना, ऐसा ही देखना है।
Okay, all right. Thank you so much for talking to me and carry on with your content creation. And let me also, I don't know if I could get, like I said, let's pass through the street. And like I said, a lot of photographers, you know, content creators. That's mostly what has been happening. On the left-hand side of the street, in fact, there's one more of this pre-wedding shoots that is happening. So there's this couple who's I'm guessing by the looks of it getting married very, very soon, and there is a shoot that is happening. And if I can maybe get in a word from them as well. Hi. So are you getting married soon? When is the wedding date?
May 1st.
And this is your pre-wedding shoot. And why did you pick this place?
वो इससे अच्छा है, ये एरिया अच्छा है, वो बहुत अच्छा है, वो ये नाइट लाइफ बढ़िया।
तो यहाँ पे बहुत सारे, यहाँ पे मैंने देखा 2-3 और वेडिंग शूट्स हो रहे थे।
आदमी इधर ही आता है, वो अच्छा जगह है इधर।
Did you vote today?
वो May 1st. Voting, no time.
No time today. Did you vote today?
This voting.
അല്ല ഞാൻ വോട്ട് ചെയ്തു.
You voted today. What are the key issues of the youth of Thiruvananthapuram? What youth के क्या issues है, क्या problems है जिसको सोच के आपने वोट किया आज?
का कुछ को प्रॉब्लम नहीं है, अच्छा है, केरला अच्छा है, बहुत मालूम नहीं है, केरला अच्छा है।
और अभी ये जो इतना सारा बात हो रहा है, इनहेरिटेंस टैक्स का बात कर रहे हैं, सैम पिट्रोडा बोल रहा है कि टैक्स जो लोग रिच हैं उनसे उनका लैंड ले लेना चाहिए, उनके एसेट्स ले लेने चाहिए। क्या समझ लोगों को समझ आ रहा है ये क्या हो रहा है? डू दे अंडरस्टैंड व्हाट इज गोइंग ऑन?
वो पूरा जगह में टैक्स है, सब भी है, इधर भी है, इधर थोड़ा ज़्यादा है, बस।
Okay, carry on. All the very best. Congratulations. Bye-bye. Okay, so let me also try to rope in more people over here. A lot of bikers over here. There's one particular, a couple of people who've come together, a pair who's come, they've bought a new bike and they're just photo shooting the entire bike. I'm going to take you also through, that's the katta or the tea coffee stall, where people gather in large numbers, and that's the pit stop that they make before they enter onto the street. This is also a street that is paved with stones, and I would like to mention once again that by the time it's 7:30 p.m. this street is completely shut down for vehicles to enter. So from 7:30 it becomes a walking plaza. It's only pedestrians who are allowed inside. And like that one particular individual was telling me, this youth, that there are a lot of concerts and song and dance shows that also happen. And yesterday when we were passing through this street and we were trying to do a show over here, we could not do so because there was a concert happening and there was a loud band that was playing. It was just impossible to hear oneself over that music that was playing. So we ended up picking and going to Padmanaswamy temple, which is one of the most iconic places here in Thiruvananthapuram as well. Okay, so this is the tea stall, and hello. How long have you been operating this stall? कितने टाइम से चला रहे हैं?
सुबह से चल रहे हैं।
बस, लेकिन कब से आपने शुरू किया?
नहीं, अभी नया है इधर से।
और यहाँ पे कितने लोग आते हैं?
इधर बहुत लोग आते हैं चाय पीने के लिए।
और सुबह से लेके शाम तक कि सिर्फ शाम को ज्यादा लोग आते हैं?
क्लोज नहीं होता, फुल टाइम होता है।
और लोग यहाँ पे सबसे फेवरेट उनका क्या है पीने का, खाने का, पीने का?
वो चाय फेवरेट है इधर का। चाय दुकान है ना, उसका चाय का फेवरेट होगा ना।
और आज वोटिंग डे था, तो वोट करने के बाद लोग आए यहाँ पे?
हाँ, सुबह से नहीं था, अभी शाम में आ गया पूरा।
आपने वोट किया?
हम इधर का नहीं है ना।
अच्छा, आप कहाँ के?
कलकत्ता का है ना।
So okay, so a lot of people came and they participated in the voting process today, and then they came in the evening to cast their vote as well. All right, let's also quickly take our audience, take a recap. Today I ended up speaking with a lot of other people also. They were first-time voters, they were elderly voters, there were families who came out in throngs to come out and vote. Let's actually listen to what they had to say, what their issues were, what their expectations were of the 2024 government that comes to power, whichever government comes to power. And did they think that the issues that they had raised, had in mind, were resolved in the last 10 years?
Before we play out those reactions of voters that you were referring to, Megha, let's also play out some interviews that we did earlier with the high-profile candidates from Thiruvananthapuram seat.
Quickly, a word from you. Top of the morning to you. Of course, the big day today. Titans that are clashing. What do you expect of the people?
I'm pretty sure and very confident that the people of Tirunelveli want to reject the politics of the last 15-20 years of absolutely no development and move to change. I think they certainly have seen what Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji has done for the rest of India in the last 10 years, and they want the same in Tirunelveli, which is investments, jobs, development, economic development, economic progress, a better future for their families, a better future for their youth and children.
High octane battle. There was a neck and neck fight between you, Shashi Tharoor, and obviously the CPI leader. What are the expectations? Is the tally for the BJP going to better this time around, as against?
We will see on the 4th of June. I am extremely confident that the people are fed up of the same old misinformation and lies and politics of lies that the Congress and the LDF represent, and they want to move forward. They want a better future, and that is precisely what we will see today across Kerala, including in Tirunelveli.
It's the first time around. Do you think BJP can finally take this seat and enter into the Kerala political?
People of Kerala and people of Tirunelveli want change, and I'm very confident that change will result in a very different trajectory for Tirunelveli and their lives and their people and their families.
The big story that is happening today, what's happening is that Sam Pitroda has made a comment. Is it a shot in the foot for the Congress? Is it fodder for opposition parties to attack the Congress? Would you agree to that?
Listen, Sam Pitroda is a respected friend of mine and of the party and of all our leaders, but he is not a member of the Manifesto Committee, and whatever he has said not only does not feature in the manifesto, as a member of the committee I can tell you it wasn't even discussed. It is not on our agenda.
But why talk about it?
Rajiv Gandhi, because somebody must have asked him a question, he expressed a view in private. We are a democratic party, individuals are entitled to their views. The only issue on which the Congress party is running are the issues in the manifesto, the 5 Nyaya in particular. Look at what we have said we stand for and challenge us on that if you like. Say you're against justice for youth, for unemployed people, for workers, for farmers. Say you're against all that. But don't say you're against something else which is not in our agenda. And what is worse is, and what is dishonest is, some people in the BJP claiming this is part of the Congress's manifesto. It is not. It has never been in the manifesto. It was abolished by Rajiv Gandhi back in 1985.
So why talk about wealth redistribution now, during the time when the elections are taking place?
Can you show me in the manifesto the expression wealth redistribution or even the word
Rahul Gandhi has spoken about this. He's made commentary on it.
Rahul Gandhi has talked about the importance of a socio-economic caste census. That's all he said. We need to know, he said, how people are doing in our country. And when we are a country that does give some benefits and advantages and disadvantages on the basis of caste. We should have an accurate picture. That's all he has said. At no point has he talked about redistribution. Let me explain very simply. What have we done when we are in power? We are the party of liberalization. We have supported the growth of the economy. But once the economy grows, the government's revenues also grow. And we believe that growth in revenue should be shared with those who are marginalized, who are oppressed, who are poor. And it actually is in the interest of everybody, because once that revenue is shared, people get a leg up. They become tomorrow's consumers and customers. So it's a win-win for the business community also. Talk to business people who understand this kind of economics. If you want, you can call it trickle up. Give people the money in their hands, let them become purchasing partners, and they'll be buying your products. My friends, your businesses will grow further. Increase the purchasing power of the poor. There's nothing wrong with that. It's sound economics.
Okay, also talking about how there has been attacks that have been made by the BJP over Muslim reservation. Karnataka government has been pulled up for all the Muslim population in the state being put under the OBC quota. How do you react to that?
I'm told, frankly, I've been too busy focused on my own election here, but I'm told that the Chief Minister of Karnataka has clarified this amply, that this is a complete distortion of the actual reality. Please be guided by his statement.
There has also been a comment that has been made by your contender. We're talking about Rajiv Chandrasekhar. He said you are making comments on him which are unwarranted, particularly with regards to the cash against votes. How do you have to react to that?
Look, I've already reacted to that. The issue has been settled by a decision of the Election Commission that I've chosen not to argue with. So I've moved on. In any case, this is not, for me, a principal issue. The principal issue is who is going to be ruling India, and I don't want to be distracted by other issues. What has happened has happened. I could have argued the point because all I had said to the journalist was that I've heard certain things, which he asked me to confirm, and I confirmed it. If the Election Commission thinks that was wrong, I'm very happy to abide by their judgment. I moved away from the issue and I've not repeated it.
The fact that, do you think this is a closely fought contest between you and Rajiv Chandrasekhar, keeping in mind when 2009 you came into being, you wrested power from the left, and now it is Rajiv Chandrasekhar after 3 terms, and he's sort of a similar profile. You're an outsider, he's a technocrat, he talks about development, he talks about skill development, he talks about bringing jobs and employments over here.
Yeah, the amusing thing is the last 3 elections, the BJP has been a serious contender. Twice they came second. Here too, the contest is for second place between them and the left. And I wish them to put forward whatever their best candidates or their best proposals are. They have every right to do that. But we are very confident that the trust and faith the voters have placed in me 3 times, they will place a 4th time. That's become very clear from our campaign. Secondly, I completely resent this idea of a similar profile. He is a successful businessman. Businessmen are naturally motivated by profit. Indeed, I am an honest tax-paying, salaried person most of my life. And as far as I'm concerned, every penny that I earn from my writings, my royalties, and even my savings, I pay tax on and fully declared, because every year my taxes are chosen for special scrutiny by the government. They've never found a single irregularity, because that's the way I've been brought up to believe. Taxes and voting are the duty of the citizen. And I have performed my duty. The other candidates can ask themselves if they have performed the same duty.
Finally, one last question. What is the future for Shashi Tharoor now if it is the India Alliance and wins the election? How do you see yourself in the national landscape, electoral landscape?
Look, I'm a member of parliament for Thiruvananthapuram, and that's been my role for the last 10 years. I've played other roles in the government, in parliament. I've been chairman of committees. There are plenty of possibilities. I look forward to seeing what our party can do when we are in power for the people. My own situation is completely secondary in that.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Mr. Tharoor.
And a quick look now at what voters in Kerala had to say today. Let's take stock of the voters' pulse and the key issues the people today voted for. Okay, I think we're having some trouble there with those voter issue sound bites. We will just play out that in just a second for you. But Megha Sharma is also back with us from Thiruvananthapuram, in fact, where...
All right, so before we actually listen to the voters, what all did they say when they came out and voted? There's an iconic statue of Bhaskaran. He was a very famous lyricist, Malayali lyricist, what's right behind me. That bust has been put up in keeping with the theme of this culture street, which is Manaviyam Veedi, Manaviyam Road. So this, like I said, this depicts how the street has been conceptualized. It's a new street, like the people, the passers-by who I was talking to. It's been just about a year. It's gaining a lot of traction, it's a star attraction for not just the locals, not just the youth within the city, but also people, tourists who are coming in from various parts of the country and even across the globe. Let's quickly also listen into what the voters spoke earlier today when they were coming out and casting their vote. We started off early, 7 a.m. The booth started off opening, and there were people, in the earlier part of the day, it was the elder people who were coming in large numbers. Later on, it was the youth, the families, the mothers and the fathers and the children who also poured in, the first-time voters that also poured in. But quickly taking a look at that, what were their reactions, what were their thought process when they cast their vote?